Hello friends, this is Stephen Albert and you're watching the Harvest to Table Videos channel. I've been growing pumpkins for more than 30 years in home gardens of all sizes. Pumpkins are one of the most rewarding crops to grow. Whether you're dreaming of homemade pumpkin pie, festive fall decorations, or simply the fun of growing your own jack-o'-lantern, today we'll cover everything you need to know to grow your best pumpkins ever. Let's get right to it. Let's start with how to choose the right pumpkin for your needs. Before planting a pumpkin variety, it's important to know whether you're growing for cooking or carving. In my own garden, I've learned that smaller sugar pie pumpkins are best for sweet, rich flavored dishes like soups and pies. Larger varieties are perfect for carving thanks to their size and sturdy walls. Let's take a look at a few pumpkins I can recommend to you. First, pumpkins ideal for cooking. The variety called sugar pie pumpkin is a classic choice due to its sweet, fine-grained texture. It is a small 2 to 4 pound pumpkin. It's deep orange with smooth flesh. Next is Baby Pam. It is slightly smaller than sugar pie. It has dry, dense, sugary flesh, perfect for smooth, flavorful pumpkin puree. The variety called Winter Luxury is medium size, about 6 pounds with netted skin. It has exceptionally sweet, silky flesh that's prized by bakers for premium pies. Here are the larger pumpkins I recommend for carving. First is Howden. This is the classic Halloween carving pumpkin. It is round, deep orange, with thick walls and a sturdy stem for handling. It weighs 15 to 25 pounds. Next is the variety called Jack-o' Lantern. It has smooth skin and a uniform shape. It's easy to carve with good interior space for candles or LED lights. It weighs 10 to 20 pounds. Lastly is Connecticut Field. This is a historic heirloom variety with a slightly flattened shape. It is a traditional choice for big, bold carvings and can weigh between 15 and 30 pounds. Finally, if you simply want a pumpkin perfect for autumn and seasonal decoration, I suggest the white-skinned Baby Boo and a miniature called Munchkin. Both weigh less than 2 pounds. Where to plant pumpkins? Plant pumpkins in a spot that gets at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily. This will ensure the best fruit development. Pumpkins need plenty of space to sprawl. Give vining varieties 4 to 6 feet between hills or rows, while bush types can be spaced more closely. Yes, there are bush-type pumpkins. They grow in a compact, mounded form. They are ideal for small gardens, raised beds, or even large containers. Varieties include Spirit, Bushkin, and Bush Sugar Pie. Traditional vining pumpkins send out long, sprawling runners to 10 or 20 feet or more. They are great for traditional pumpkin patches or large garden plots. Plant pumpkins in well-drained, fertile soil rich in organic matter. A slightly acidic to neutral soil pH of 6.0 to 7.0 is ideal. Before planting, amend the soil with compost or aged manure to boost nutrients and improve texture. Pumpkins thrive when planted in raised mounds or wide rows that warm up quickly in spring. When and how to plant pumpkins. Plant pumpkins in late spring or early summer after the soil has warmed to at least 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Cool soil can delay germination or stunt growth. For an earlier start, you can begin seeds indoors 2 to 3 weeks before your last expected frost date. Indoors or outdoors, plant seeds about 1 inch deep. Space plants outdoors about 4 feet apart after thinning. Pumpkins need a long, warm growing season. They typically require 90 to 120 frost-free days to reach harvest. Plant pumpkins so that they mature before cold weather returns. In my own garden, starting seeds indoors has helped me achieve earlier harvests, especially in cooler springs. If you're short on space, you can absolutely grow bush variety pumpkins in large 15 to 20 gallon containers. Watering and feeding your pumpkins. I've learned that once those vines start sprawling, pumpkins turn into some of the hungriest and thirstiest plants in the garden. They need deep, steady watering to keep the soil evenly moist, especially during hot spells. They need plenty of nutrients to fuel their rapid growth. I water deeply once or twice a week, rather than sprinkling daily. I aim for about 1 to 1.5 inches of water, or about 2 gallons each time, to soak the root zone. Use drip irrigation or a soaker hose to avoid wetting the leaves, which can encourage disease. Mulch around the plants to help retain soil moisture, regulate soil temperature, and reduce weeds. This will support healthy, vigorous vines and fruit. Feeding pumpkins properly is essential for strong vines and large, healthy fruit. I always start with a balanced organic fertilizer with an NPK of 10-10-10. This supports vigorous growth. Once the plants begin to flower, I switch to a fertilizer lower in nitrogen and higher in phosphorus and potassium, such as a 5-10-10. This blend encourages fruit set and development rather than leafy growth. I side dress the plants every few weeks or use a liquid feed with my watering routine. This helps maintain consistent nutrition. Pumpkins are heavy feeders. I strongly recommend taking the time to nourish pumpkins at each stage of growth. It really does make the difference between a weak yield and a bountiful harvest. Protecting your pumpkins from pests and diseases. Like all crops, pumpkins face their share of threats from pests and diseases. Common pests like squash bugs, cucumber beetles, and vine borers can quickly damage plants if not caught early. I recommend checking the undersides of leaves regularly and hand-picking pests when possible. Diseases like powdery mildew and downy mildew can creep in during warm, humid weather. To head off disease, give your vines plenty of space for air circulation. Avoid watering overhead later in the day, allowing foliage to dry before nightfall. Staying ahead of problems with a little daily observation can make all the difference between a thriving crop and a disappointing season. Harvesting pumpkins. You'll know it's time to harvest a pumpkin when it has developed a deep, rich color and the rind feels tough enough that you can't easily press it with your fingernail. I listen for a hollow sound when I give the pumpkin a gentle tap, and I make sure the stem has started to dry out. Both are clear signs that the pumpkin is mature and ready to come off the vine. Use pruners or a sharp knife to harvest pumpkins. Cut the stem cleanly. Leave several inches of stem attached to the fruit to help prevent rot. After harvest, cure the pumpkins in a warm, dry, well-ventilated spot, ideally at around 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Let pumpkins cure for 10 to 14 days. This hardens the skin, seals minor cuts, and enhances both sweetness and storage life in many varieties. After curing, store pumpkins in a cool, dry place with good air circulation. Pumpkins stored at 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit should keep for several months. Avoid stacking pumpkins or placing them directly on concrete, which can cause soft spots. It's best to set them on cardboard, straw, or wooden slats. Pumpkins in the kitchen. Pumpkins are incredibly versatile in the kitchen, especially the sweet, small varieties like sugar pie, baby Pam, or winter luxury. Once roasted and pureed, the flesh becomes the base for classic pumpkin pie, hearty soups, creamy risottos, and even baked goods like muffins and bread. To prepare them, you can slice the pumpkin in half or quarters, remove the seeds, and roast cut sides down at 375 degrees Fahrenheit until tender. The soft flesh can then be blended into a smooth puree, or diced and added to savory dishes. Pumpkin also works well cubed and sautéed or steamed in curries, stews, and pasta. You can roast the seeds separately for a crunchy snack. Pumpkins for carving. Carving pumpkins is a fun fall tradition, especially with varieties like Howden or Jack-o Lantern, which have thick walls and wide, smooth surfaces. Start by cutting a lid or a hole in the top or bottom for a clean display. Scoop out the seeds and stringy pulp with a sturdy spoon. Scrape the walls to about 1 inch thickness for easier carving. Use a stencil or draw your design with a marker, then carve carefully with a small, serrated knife or pumpkin carving tool. For safety and longevity, use LED lights instead of candles inside, and apply petroleum jelly to the cut edges to slow drying and mold. A well-carved pumpkin can last several days to a week if kept cool and dry. And there you have it. Growing pumpkins from seed to harvest to table and more. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Harvest to Table Videos channel. And please share this video with a friend. To read more about growing pumpkins, click on the link in the notes below. For more gardening insights, check out my vegetable gardening books available at Amazon. Click on the link in the notes below. Thanks for watching today. Until next time, this is Stephen Albert wishing you happy gardening. See you in the next video.